Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, I want you to just pause and imagine something for a second. Picture waking up tomorrow with sharper focus, a way better memory, unshakable discipline, dramatically less stress, and enough mental energy to tackle goals that honestly feel completely impossible right now. It sounds like a superpower, right? But the amazing truth is, it's not magic at all. It's literally just biology. Okay, let's dive into this, because we really need to shatter a super common limiting belief, the idea that intelligence is just fixed at birth. Most people go through their whole lives thinking they're kind of just stuck with the brain they were given, but actual neuroscience tells a completely different story. The brain rewires daily. Science shows us that every single day, your brain is actively changing its physical structure based on what you do. This is the whole idea of neuroplasticity, and it's an absolute game changer. So that brings us to the ultimate question. Right? Is your brain changing in your favor? Because here's the reality, your brain is constantly rewiring itself whether you like it or not. The question isn't if it's changing, the real question is whether those structural changes are helping you or actively working against you. In today's explainer, I'm going to show you the key daily habits, all backed by neuroscience, that'll make sure your brain changes exactly to your advantage.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be looking at how to win the morning, master focus, learn faster, check out some hidden boosters, do the stress reset, and wrap up with the 1% rule.
All right, let's jump right into part one, win the morning. Protect your first hour. Now, what's really interesting here is how most people instantly ruin their brain's reaction mode. They wake up, immediately grab their phones, check social media, read the news, and boom, the day is already derailed. But successful folks strictly protect that first hour. Let's look at this timeline. Minutes 1 to 5, a cold shower. Yeah, nobody actually enjoys it, but that's exactly why it works. It teaches your brain that discomfort isn't dangerous, which builds incredible mental toughness right out of the gate. Then, minutes 5 to 15, natural sunlight. Stepping outside sets your brain's internal clock. It is absolutely crucial so your body knows exactly when to be alert and when to sleep later on. And finally, minutes 15 to 60. Tackle your most important task. Not the easiest one, not the most urgent email, the most important task. Your peak cognitive power happens right after waking up, so harness it for your own goals. Moving right along to part 2, master your focus. Work with your brain, not against it. So most of us think that having better focus just means trying harder or gritting your teeth through mental fatigue. But check out this number, 90. This is a massive biological secret. Your brain actually operates in natural cycles of about 90 minutes of high concentration. And after those 90 minutes, you're going to experience an inevitable, totally natural dip in energy. Look, our brains aren't machines. You can't just leave the engine running at redline all day and expect top-tier performance. But what do most of us do? We push harder. We chug another coffee and totally ignore that natural dip. And honestly, forcing yourself to push through just makes your performance collapse. What actually works is 90 minutes of intense work followed by a genuine break. Like actually step away, go for a walk, stretch, eat something, just rest. By sprinting intensely for 90 minutes and then giving your brain a real break, you actually get way more done in less time. Which perfectly sets up part 3, learn faster than anyone. Effort over consumption. Okay, time for a hard truth about how our brains actually grow. Passive consumption, it doesn't rewire the brain, only effort does. Just passively watching educational videos or skimming books doesn't automatically build a skill. If what you're doing feels easy, your brain literally doesn't bother to rewire itself. So the crucial point is using something like the Feynman method. This is a learning technique where you take a complex concept and force yourself to explain it in super simple words, like you're teaching a child. I highly recommend spending just 15 minutes a day doing this. It's completely uncomfortable, but it will rapidly expose the blind spots in your understanding and massively accelerate your learning. Another totally incredible effort-based tool is active recall. This is where you actually close your books, put away your notes, and actively struggle to remember the info from scratch. And that word is key, struggle. The very act of wrestling with your memory to retrieve that information is exactly what makes the brain grow stronger. Your brain doesn't grow when it just repeatedly looks at stuff. It grows when it has to do the heavy lifting of pulling it out of your own mind. All right, let's look at part 4, hidden brain boosters. When to step away. You know that inevitable afternoon slump? Well, sometimes the absolute best solution to a complex problem isn't just staring at your screen longer. It's stepping away entirely. Here are 3 hidden boosters you can use. First up, a quick 10-minute walk.
Movement is huge for sparking creativity because it unlocks your subconscious mind and lets you chew on the problem in the background. Second, exercise. It's not just for your body, you guys. Strength training and cardio are some of the most powerful brain enhancers we know of. They drastically improve memory and mood. And third, a 10 to 20-minute power nap. Think of it as a strategic biological reset. It's just long enough to refresh the brain, but short enough to avoid waking up with that heavy, awful grogginess.
Next up is part 5, the stress reset. Control stress before it controls you. Look, daily stress is going to happen. It's totally inevitable. But the real problem isn't the stress itself. It's our inability to manage it in the moment. When daily stress hits, we tend to do this fast, shallow breathing, which literally traps your nervous system in a panic loop. And this brilliantly illustrates how to instantly break it. Step 1, take 2 quick breaths in through the nose. Step 2, 1 long, slow exhale out through the mouth. It's basically an immediate 30-second emergency reset button for your brain's calming system. It rapidly signals safety to your nervous system, stops the panic loop dead in its tracks, and lets you regain emotional control right on the spot. And that brings us to part 6, the 1% rule. Consistency over perfection.
Okay, real talk for a second. Please do not feel the pressure to wake up tomorrow morning and try to adopt all of these habits at once. Honestly, you won't, and you absolutely shouldn't even try. Just remember this, transformation doesn't happen because of one perfect day. It happens because of small actions repeated consistently. The whole goal here is just getting 1% better every day. A brain trained for focus, learning, and discipline over time becomes a brain capable of absolutely incredible achievements. Your future isn't defined by your inherent talent, it's defined by the small habits you consistently repeat.
So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it brings us to one final question. Which habit will you start today? Seriously, I encourage you to pick just one single habit from this explainer to try out this week, master it, and then add another. You literally have the power to rewire your own brain for peak performance. The only question left is, where are you going to begin?